Hello students, you are welcomed to the video lecture series of Database Management System. In this video lecture, we will learn about PLSQL. We will learn basics of PLSQL. We will also see the differences between SQL and PLSQL. We will learn why we use PLSQL. So here we are going to start our topic. PLSQL. What is PLSQL? It is a kind of procedural language. It is a procedural language, or we can say it is a block structural language that enables developers to combine the power of SQL with procedural statement, right? तो PL SQL में हम क्या करते हैं, प्रोसीजरल स्टेटमेंट्स लिखते हैं जिनको कि हम बोलते हैं कि उन स्टेटमेंट्स को हम कुछ पर्टिकुलर ब्लॉक में लिख रहे हैं. अब वो जो ब्लॉक होते हैं, ब्लॉक को हम ओरेकल इंजन को पास करते हैं, जिससे कि क्या होता है, एक साथ हम एट टाइम सेम टाइम पर वो का पूरा ब्लॉक ओरेकल इंजन को पास होता है, जिससे कि वी कैन से दैट प्रोसेसिंग स्पीड इंक्रीज होती है और ट्रैफिक डिक्रीज हो जाता है. So all the statement of block are passed to Oracle engine all at once, which increases processing speed and decreases the traffic. So अभी तक हमने SQL के बारे में पढ़ा. Why we use PL SQL? SQL में कुछ ड्रॉबैक्स थी, SQL की कुछ डिसएडवांटेज थी, जिसकी वजह से हम PL SQL पढ़ते हैं. So SQL doesn't provide the programmers with the technique of condition checking, looping and branching. तो SQL में हम कंडीशनल चेकिंग, लूपिंग एंड ब्रांचिंग नहीं कर सकते थे. सेकंड डिसएडवांटेज वाज SQL स्टेटमेंट्स आर पास्ड टू ओरेकल इंजन वन एट अ टाइम. जैसे कि हमने अभी बताया, PL SQL में एज अ ब्लॉक आप ऑल एट अ वंस प्रोवाइड कर देते हैं ओरेकल इंजन को, जबकि SQL स्टेटमेंट वन एट अ टाइम हम प्रोवाइड करते हैं, जिससे कि क्या होता है, ट्रैफिक इंक्रीज हो जाता है एंड स्पीड डिक्रीज हो जाती है. I hope that is clear. And third disadvantage is SQL no facility of checking error and during manipulation of data. जब आप डेटा को मैनिपुलेट कर रहे हैं, उस टाइम पे एरर चेकिंग की फैसिलिटी SQL नहीं प्रोवाइड करता. So we will learn about features of PL SQL. So the first feature is PL SQL is basically a procedural language. एक procedural language है जो कि आपको decision making, iteration और many more features आपको procedural programming language के provide करता है. Second feature is PL SQL can execute a number of queries in one block using single command. Third one is one can create PL SQL units such as procedures, function, packages, triggers and cursors which are stored in database for use by application. जब कभी भी आपको application के through database को reuse करना होता है, उस केस में आप functions, procedures, packages ये सारी चीजें create कर सकते हैं. Another feature is PL SQL provides a feature to handle the exceptions which occurs in PL SQL block known as exception handling block. यहाँ पर हम block की बात करें तो PL SQL में जितना भी कोड होता है वो block में लिखा जाता है. So basically there are three blocks. First is declaration block, जिसमें कि आप declaration statements लिखते हैं, आप variables या कुछ भी procedures वहाँ declare कर सकते हैं. Next block is आपका begin block, right? Begin में आपका कहलाता है execution block. And third one is exception block. राइट. सो एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग के स्टेटमेंट्स आप वहाँ लिखते हैं. सो अभी हम ब्लॉक्स के बारे में भी बात करेंगे. So all the applications written in PL SQL are portable to computer hardware or operating system where Oracle is operational. PL SQL offers extensive error checking. ये error checking की facility भी आपको provide करता है. Now we will learn differences between SQL and PL SQL. So the first difference is SQL is single query language that is used to perform DML and DDL operations, whereas PL SQL is a block of codes that used to write the entire program, blocks, procedures, functions, etc. So SQL के through आप केवल DML और DDL operations perform कर सकते हैं, whereas PL SQL आपका block of code है जिसमें कि आप entire program लिखते हैं using blocks, procedures and functions, right? Next one, SQL is declarative that defines what needs to be done rather than how things needed to be done. So things कैसे चीज कोई भी काम आप कैसे परफॉर्म करना है ये बताने की बजाय what needs to be done, केवल ये डिक्लेरेटिव स्टेटमेंट है. डिक्लेरेटिव आपका SQL है जो कि केवल ये डिफाइन करता है कि क्या आपको करना है, कैसे चीजें होंगी ये डिफाइन नहीं करता. whereas PL SQL is a procedure that defines how the things needs to be done, कैसे चीजें आपकी होनी है. SQL की बात करें तो it executes as a single statement, whereas PL SQL executes as whole block. It is SQL की बात करें, so it is mainly used to manipulate data, and PL/SQL is mainly used to create an application. जब कभी भी आपको application create करनी है होती है, उस केस में आप PL/SQL यूज करते हैं. In SQL we cannot contain PL/SQL code in it. SQL में आप PL/SQL कोड नहीं लिख सकते, जबकि PL/SQL की बात करें, so it is a extension of SQL, so we can write SQL inside it, right? PL/SQL में आप SQL की query भी लिख सकते हैं. So these are the some basic differences of SQL and PL/SQL. Now we are going through the basics of PL/SQL. We will learn how we can declare a variable. We will also see how we can initialize variables. We will see how we can take variables values from users, and then we will see some basic program of SQL. So what is the structure of PLSQL? If we talk about the structure, as I told you already that it is a block of code. So there are three blocks in which PL/SQL code is distributed. So PL/SQL extend SQL by adding construct found in procedural language, resulting in structural language that is more powerful than SQL. The basic unit of PL/SQL is a block. So block की अगर हम बात करें, so there are three blocks. First is declare block, second is begin, and third exceptions. Right. So what is declare? In declare we only declare variables and कुछ भी चीज़ हमें डिक्लेयर करनी होती है, so declaration statements आपके declare section में आते हैं. Whenever we use begin, we write an and section with it, right? जब भी आप begin लिखते हैं उसके साथ आपको end लिखना होता है. begin में आप executable statements provide करते हैं, और exceptions में आप provide करते हैं exception handling statements, right? So PL/SQL block, as we can see in the diagram, there are four blocks. First is declare, begin and end वैसे सेम है क्योंकि begin के साथ आप end लिखते ही लिखते हैं. So we can consider three blocks mainly: declare, begin and third one is exception, right? So first is declare कीवर्ड यूज करते हैं, डिक्लेरेशन स्टेटमेंट इसमें आते हैं, बिगिन में एग्जीक्यूटेबल स्टेटमेंट्स आते हैं, और एक्सेप्शन में एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग स्टेटमेंट आप लिखते हैं. So whole program is categorized into three blocks. So as I already told you, declaration section starts with declare keyword, right? In which variables, constants, records, and as cursors can be declared, which stores data temporarily. Execution section starts with begin and ends with end keyword. This is mandatory section. If we talk about declaration section, this is optional, right? You can write it or you cannot write it, but execution section is mandatory, right? And here the program logic is written to perform any task like loops or conditional statement. This is the advantage of PL/SQL over the SQL. SQL में हम loops, conditional statement और इस तरह के statement हम नहीं दे सकते थे, whereas we can use it in PL/SQL. And if we talk about the third block as exception block, so exception starts with the exception keyword. This section is also optional, which contains statements that are executed when a runtime error occurs. Any exception can be handled in this section. So there are basically three blocks: declare, second is begin and end, and third is exception. So now we will talk about PL/SQL identifiers. If we talk about identifiers, there are several PL/SQL identifiers such as variables, constant, procedures, cursors, triggers, etc. So in this particular video lecture, we will talk only about variables. So what are variables? Variables जैसे कि हम और अदर प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस में भी यूज करते हैं variables, सिमिलर वे में हम यहाँ पर भी variables डिक्लेयर करते हैं. So like other several programming languages, variables in PL/SQL must be declared prior to its use. यूज करने से पहले आपको डिक्लेयर करना पड़ता है. As we know that other programming languages में भी variables का कुछ valid name और उसका data type होता है. So similarly here also they should have a valid name and data type as well as. If we talk about syntax, so the syntax is variable name, then data type, and then value. So we can see here in this example we can show how to declare variables in PL/SQL. As I already told you, there are three blocks. So first of all you have to write set server output on, It is used to display the buffer used by DBMS output, and you will write declare keyword, and then you declare the variables. So here I have declared three variables, where one is of integer type, where two is of real, where three is of varchar type. Then you will write begin. In this begin section you will write executable statements. So I have specified here nothing, so I have written null, and begin के साथ आपने end किया, right? So this is just a simple basic example to make you understand about the declaration of variables. So explanation is this, that server output on, as I already told you, that it is used to display the buffer used by the DBMS output, var1 integer, right? It is a declaration of variable named var1, which is of integer type. There are many other data types that can be used, like float. You can use float, int, real, small int, long, etc. It also supports variable used in SQL as well, like you can use number, you can use varchar, you can use varchar2, etc. PLSQL procedure successfully completed. It is displayed when the code is compiled and executed successfully. And slash after end, you put a slash after the end. So the slash tells PLSQL plus SQL plus to execute the block. If this slash will tell you that now you can execute the block, right? So let me tell you the example. Let me show you. So first of all, you will write sys spysdba, then you will type the password. Now it's connected to the Oracle. Now I'll show you how we can declare the variables. So first of all, you will write set server output on. Now you will declare the variable of your respective program. So first of all, I'm writing declare. Then let's say I have v1 of integer type. Then let's say I have v2, it's of real, इसका data type है. And third is v3, varchar type का मैंने data लिया है v3. Now you will write begin, and then in begin I am specifying nothing, so I'm writing null, and after begin you have to write and. Then you will place a slash for your output, because the slash tells the SQL plus to execute the blocks. So now here you are getting PLSQL procedure successfully completed. This is just the declaration of variables. Now as other programming, like other programming languages, we can also initialize variables. So we can see its example. Let's say you have written declare. Now I am declaring a variable v1 integer type का data type है इसका. Then you will place a colon equals. Whenever you place equal, then you have to specify a colon and equals. Let's say इसकी value मैंने दी 2. Now let's say एक another variable है v2. It's of varchar 2 and its size is 20. Then let's say I'm specifying its value as hello, right? Now you will specify begin, null, and end. Then after end you place a slash. Now इस तरह से आपका, ये आप इस तरह से भी डिक्लेयर कर सकते हैं कि आप वैल्यू डिक्लेरेशन के साथ साथ प्रोवाइड करें, यानी कि वेरिएबल्स को आपने इनिशियलाइज कर दिया. नाउ अगर मुझे स्क्रीन क्लियर करना है, नाउ लेट्स से आई एम यूजिंग क्लियर स्क्रीन. So screen is clear. Now we can see how we can take input from user. If you want to take input from user, so we can use it as declare. How we can write comment in it, let's say this one. This is used for writing a comment. So I am writing a comment taking input for variable a. This is a comment line. Now I am taking input. A is of integer data type. Then you will use ampersand a. It will take the value of variable from user. Now I'm using again a comment taking input for variable b. So how I will write b, let's say it's of varchar type, its size is 20, and let's say you will specify ampersand b, and then you will specify begin section. In it I am specifying null, then you will write end. So now it's asking for input from us, right? It is asking enter value of a. Let's say I have specified 10. Now it's asking for value of b. Let's say I'm specifying because it's of varchar type, so I will specify it in code. Let's say I'm specifying hello. So now PLSQL procedure successfully completed. So we have seen how we can initialize variables. I gave you example of this one, right? So variables can also be initialized just like in other programming language, right? I told you the example. You will write declare v1 integer, let's say इसकी value 2 specify की, then v2 varchar इसकी value अपने hello word दी. So it will give you PLSQL procedure successfully completed. So यहाँ पर आप इन दो स्टेटमेंट से आपको पता चल रहा है कि आप वेरिएबल्स की वैल्यू इनिशियलाइज कर रहे हो. So we can initialize any variable in PLSQL. Now we can see how we can display our output. So in PLSQL, outputs are displayed by using dbms underscore output, which is a built-in package that enables the user to display output, debugging information, and send messages from PLSQL block, subprograms, packages, and triggers. Let's see an example how to display a message from PLSQL. So let's say you are declaring a variable that is v1. v1 is of varchar type and its value is hello world. So you will in begin section, what you will write, you will write dbms underscore output dot put line and then the value that you want to print as your output. So in bracket I have specified v1 and then end. So its output will be hello world, right? And in the next line it will show PLSQL procedure successfully completed. So by using this command dbms output dot put line, you can display the output that you want to display. Now I told you about how we can use the comments. So using comments in PLSQL, like in many other programming languages, in PLSQL also comments can be put within the code which has no effect in the code. So there are two types of comments, single line comment and multi-line comment. For single line comment, to create a single line comment, the symbol minus minus double minus is used, and for multi-line comment, to create comments that span over several lines, the symbol slash asterisk and asterisk slash is used. So in between these two operators you can specify multi-line comments. Example, by example we can see here, right? Here minus minus, I am a comment, so I will be ignored, right? So just ignore it because it's a comment. So you have specified minus minus. It's just to show you that how you can use the comment in your program, right? This is a piece of code where you have specified the comment. Now I have already discussed I'm already discussed, but I'm showing you again, taking input from users. So I can take value of variables from users also. So in that case, from taking input from users, I will write a equal to ampersand a, and b its data type, and then ampersand b, right? So this is how you can take variables from users. So let's take this example, that is a simple program that adds two numbers, and we are writing it in PLSQL. So first of all, I'm writing declare, then taking input for variable a. Let's say I'm taking input from user, एंड देन b की वैल्यू आपने यूजर से इनपुट कराई, एंड देन आपने एक c वेरिएबल लिया जिसमें आप a और b का एडिशन का रिजल्ट आप ऐड करेंगे. सो इट्स बिगिन c equal to a plus b, and then you will write dpms output dot put line just to show the output, and you will specify sum of a and b is c, right? So I'm going to show you how you can use this program. So now I will write declare, and then I will declare a, its data type is integer, and I am taking its value from user, right? Now another variable आपने लिया b, integer, and its value also you are scanning from user. User से आप input ले रहे हैं b की value भी, and then you will specify a c variable जिसकी value आप user से लेंगे. Now you will write begin, and then in begin you write the executable statement. So you will write c equals a plus b, and you have to print the value of c. So you will write dbms underscore output dot put line, and then in single quote you will write sum of a and b is equals, and then to print the value you will use c. Now you will write and backslash. So the output is enter value of a. Let's say you are writing 10, and let's say it's asking for value of b, it's 20, and then it's giving sum of 10 and 20 is 30. So I hope ये आपको clear होगा students. So students, in this video lecture में, इस video lecture में हमने पढ़ा कि how we can declare variables, how we can initialize variables, how we can take input from users, and we can take the value of variables from user, and we just saw a simple program of for addition of two numbers. So I think ये video lecture आपको clear होगा. Thank you so much for watching this video.